Welcome to the Prescott Lab podcast, not just theory, practical science for everyone. I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott, a physician and integrative medicine researcher at the Ravenshade Institute for Human Health, and today I want to speak directly to the men out there, especially those who have started quietly wondering, is this it? The mornings that used to come with ease now feel off, the strength, the pulse, the drive, fading like steam on a mirror. And the worst part, they've told you it's normal, that it's just what happens when you hit 60. But what if they are wrong? What if you're not broken, just misinformed? And what if one overlooked food, something sitting on a grocery store shelf, could help restore not just blood flow, but your fire, your vitality, and your sense of manhood from the inside out? Stick with me because today we're not just talking theory, we're breaking down real science, real results. From real men over 60 who have found their strength again. Now before we dive in, let me ask for something small but powerful. If you care about men's health, if you believe men over 60 deserve better answers, not just prescriptions, hit that like button. Why? Because when you click like, you're not just helping this video, you're telling our entire team, keep going, we need more of this. And I promise you, every time you show up for us like that, we show up twice as strong for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and tap the bell. This podcast is your home for science-backed, soul-deep, man-focused health insights. Today's episode might just be the shift your body's been waiting for. Let's get started. 1. What happens when you add pistachios to your life? I want to take you inside my clinic for a moment, not into the exam room, but into a quiet conversation I've had with more men than I can count, men in their 60s, 70s, and yes, even 80s. They sit across from me with that look, not of pain, but of quiet resignation. And then a few weeks later, they walk back in taller, more alive. One man told me, "Doc, I didn't think I'd feel this again." What changed? Just one thing, a handful of pistachios every day. Sounds too simple, I understand the skepticism. But when the body is given the right inputs, the right signal, it remembers. Especially the male body. It doesn't want to shut down, it just needs a little help switching back on. Men who'd quietly accepted weak mornings, lost desire, or strained relationships, they started noticing something. That early morning pulse was returning. That spark in the bedroom wasn't gone after all. They began waking up rested, feeling clear-headed, moving more, feeling more. And their partners, let's just say I've gotten a few unexpected thank you notes. But here's the part no one talks about. When blood flow improves, not just down there, but everywhere, you begin to feel human again. Your heart gets more oxygen. Your brain fires more smoothly. Even your emotions begin to stabilize. One patient told me, "I feel more connected to my wife now than I have in years. I don't know if it's the nuts or the confidence, but something's shifted." And it's not just about erections. It's about being present again in your body, in your marriage, in your sense of self. Men who'd stopped dreaming of better days suddenly start planning again, vacations, projects, even just walking without that sense of dread or dullness. You see, pistachios aren't magic. They're just right. They give your body the exact raw material it needs to remember how to function like it once did. That's why this works. Not because it's trendy, but because it aligns with biology. And here's the hard truth, I've also seen men not feel the difference. And it's not because pistachios don't work. It's because they made a few critical mistakes, things that quietly canceled out the benefits before they ever took root. So in the next part, we're going to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes. If you're going to commit to something this simple and powerful, let's do it right. 2. The pistachio breakthrough, a natural male booster. Let me take you back to a quiet evening in my study. I was going through a stack of journals, the usual mix of half-interesting, half-repetitive articles. Then I stumbled on a clinical trial out of Turkey, modest sample size, simple intervention. A group of middle-aged and older men with moderate erectile dysfunction were told to change just one thing: eat pistachios daily, nothing else. No pills, no procedures, just pistachios, and the results. After 3 short weeks, the men in the study reported firmer erections, improved blood flow, and significantly higher satisfaction in the bedroom. And here's the kicker, their cholesterol levels dropped too. I read it once, then again. Then I sat back and thought, they're not just snacks, they're vascular therapy. That study confirmed what I'd already been observing for years in my practice. Patient after patient, men who followed a simple pistachio routine, just a handful a day, started reporting meaningful, lasting changes. Let me give you a name, Gerald, 71, retired accountant, straight shooter. When I first suggested pistachios, he raised an eyebrow and said, "So you're telling me my problem can be solved by bar snacks?" I laughed. "Only if they're dry roasted and unsalted," I told him. 3 weeks later, Gerald called me. His voice was calmer, but I heard it, that quiet pride behind his words. Doc, I forgot how good it felt to feel good. You see, pistachios are loaded with L-arginine, an amino acid your body converts into nitric oxide. That's the signal your blood vessels need to open wide and let the blood rush in. That's the foundation of a strong, natural erection. But that's just the beginning. These green powerhouses are also rich in antioxidants fighting inflammation inside your arteries. Plant sterols helping lower LDL cholesterol and unclogging those narrow vessels. Healthy fats which support testosterone production naturally. It's what I call the trifecta for male performance: better blood flow, lower inflammation, stronger hormonal balance, and most men, they've never even heard of it. They walk past pistachios in the grocery store like they're just another snack. They don't realize that within that shell is a biochemical key, one that just might unlock the version of themselves they thought was lost to time. But as you'll soon see, not all pistachios are created equal. And worse, a few simple mistakes can erase the very benefits we're chasing. So in the next part, I'll show you the traps to avoid and why most men unknowingly sabotage their progress before they even begin. 3. The real reason erections fade after 60. Let me be clear, aging is real, but blaming everything on age, that's lazy medicine. Because when I sit across from a man who's struggling with performance, desire, even basic energy, what I see isn't age. It's a system quietly breaking down, and in almost every case, that system is blood flow. You see, strong erections don't come from testosterone alone. They come from oxygen-rich blood rushing into the penis, filling the chambers, keeping them firm. It's a vascular event, and that means the quality of your erection is a mirror of your circulatory health. Here's what happens after 60. Your blood vessels begin to stiffen. Plaque builds up in the arteries, and the most critical chemical for male function, nitric oxide, starts to decline. This molecule is your body's yes signal. It tells your vessels to relax, expand, and let blood move. Without it, blood doesn't flow even if desire is there. It's why some men say, I still want to, but it just doesn't work anymore. And worse, this decline happens slowly, silently over decades, until one day you look back and realize something has gone missing. Not just the physical act, but the confidence that used to come with it. But here's the truth, this breakdown isn't permanent. That's the part no one tells you. Your vascular system is resilient. Blood vessels can adapt. Nitric oxide can be restored. The body wants to work if we stop working against it. I've seen this too many times to doubt it anymore. Men who thought they were done, who'd resigned themselves to living small, they came back, not with magic, not with prescriptions, but with real strategy. Real nourishment, real hope, and pistachios, they're just one part of that. Because the reason they work so well is exactly tied to this biology. They help restore the very process that aging tries to steal. In the next part, I'm going to take you inside that biology. So you don't just believe this works, you understand why it does. 4. How pistachios actually heal you from within. Let me walk you through something that changes a man not just physically, but mentally. Because once you understand how this works, you stop chasing quick fixes and start trusting your body again. You see, every erection begins in the brain, but it lives or dies by what happens in your blood vessels. That's where pistachios come in. They're rich in a natural compound called L-arginine. It's an amino acid. The kind your body quietly transforms into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, that's your biological green light. It tells your arteries, relax, open up, let the blood through. No nitric oxide, no blood flow, no firmness. No firmness, no confidence. It's that simple and that important. But pistachios do more than just boost nitric oxide. They help clean the roads too. Inside every artery there's a risk, cholesterol. Specifically LDL, the bad kind. It narrows your vessels, blocks flow, and makes it harder for blood to reach the places that matter most. Pistachios are packed with plant sterols, natural compounds that lower LDL and keep those pathways open. It's like removing the traffic before the big parade. Then there's inflammation, the slow, silent saboteur of male health. It creeps into the vessels, disrupts hormone balance, dulls the body's signals. But pistachios, with their antioxidants, act like a fire brigade, cooling that inflammation before it burns your system down. And we can't forget the fats, yes, the right kind of fat. Pistachios offer monounsaturated fats which fuel testosterone production, not synthetic boosts, not artificial injections. Just the gentle kindling your body uses to build back its natural fire. Put it all together and what do you have? A boost in nitric oxide for healthy circulation, lower LDL, For open blood vessels, reduced inflammation. For better hormonal communication, healthy fats to support testosterone, energy, and drive. That's not a snack. That's a blueprint. A quiet, powerful recovery plan hidden in a shell most men overlook at the grocery store. And that's why, when it works, it feels natural. Because it is. But even the best blueprint only works if it's followed the right way. So in the next part, I'll show you how to turn this from a theory into a habit, when to eat pistachios, how much, and what makes the real difference between results and disappointment. 5. When and how to eat pistachios for best results. Let me tell you something I've learned after decades of treating men over 60. Healing doesn't come from complexity, it comes from consistency. I've had men ask me with a mix of hope and hesitation, "Doc, how much should I eat? Is there a best time? Am I doing it right?" And I always answer the same way: your body doesn't need perfect, it needs rhythm. Here's what that rhythm looks like. Start with 1 to 2 ounces of pistachios per day. That's a small handful, maybe 30 to 40 nuts. Choose dry roasted or raw unsalted. No honey roasted, no oil fried, no barbecue twist madness. You want purity, the real thing, nothing layered on top. And the best time to eat them? I recommend afternoon, that stretch between lunch and dinner when your energy dips and cravings creep in. Pair the pistachios with a glass of water. Even better, follow it up with a 10-minute walk. That's it, no fancy protocol, no meal plan overhaul, just a handful, a walk, a moment of care. And here's the beauty: your body knows what to do. Give it time, give it consistency, and it responds. I've had patients come back after 2 or 3 weeks, eyes brighter. They say things like, "Doc, it's subtle, but I feel more there in the morning." Or, "My wife noticed before I did." It's not always a fireworks show. Sometimes it's just a steadier heartbeat, a stronger sense of "I've still got it." A morning you wake up with a little more weight in your steps and not just in your shoes. But here's the truth that makes the difference: you have to stick with it. Pistachios don't work in one magical burst. They work like nature always does, gently, daily, cumulatively. Think of it like watering a garden. You don't flood it once and walk away, you nurture it. And over time, something powerful grows back. But here's what's truly surprising: what comes back isn't just physical. In the next part, I want to show you what most men don't expect: how this small habit often sparks something much deeper. 6. The return of masculinity. It starts with one choice. You know what I've come to believe after thousands of hours sitting with men, listening not just to symptoms but to silence? That masculinity isn't lost all at once. It slips away in pieces. It starts with a morning that feels off, then a night that ends too early, then a slow, quiet retreat from touch, from initiative, from confidence. Until one day, the man in the mirror feels like a faded version of someone you used to know, but then something remarkable happens. A choice gets made. A small, almost laughable one, like grabbing a handful of pistachios every day, not because you're convinced, but because a part of you whispers, "Try." And suddenly, not overnight but steadily, things begin to shift. Your blood starts flowing more freely. You wake up with more presence, more clarity. Your body speaks to you again in ways you thought it had forgotten. And that right there is the real gift. It's not just about firmness, it's about returning to yourself. To the man who used to walk into a room with quiet certainty. To the husband who reached for his wife not from obligation but desire. To the version of you that wasn't just surviving but leading. I've had men tear up in my office, not because they had sex again, but because they felt like men again. Because their wives touched their arm differently. Because they started standing straighter, speaking firmer, sleeping deeper. This isn't about a nut, it's about what it unlocks inside of you. Masculinity, when rooted in health, is powerful, not loud, not showy, but grounded, steady, capable. And if you're listening to this, wondering whether that part of you can come back, I want to tell you, as your doctor and as your brother in this journey, it can, and it will. But first, you have to begin. In the final part of this episode, I want to leave you with a few words I share with every man who walks into my clinic feeling defeated, because you deserve to hear them too. 7 final thoughts, doctor to patient. If we were sitting across from each other right now, no microphones, no podcast, just 2 men talking quietly in my office, here's what I'd say to you. Aging is inevitable, but decline, that's negotiable. I've seen it too many times to pretend otherwise. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s walking in with shoulders heavy, eyes dim, hands folded like they're bracing for bad news. But what they really need isn't more information. They need someone to tell them the truth they've forgotten, that their body hasn't betrayed them. It's just been waiting for care, for nourishment, for a signal that they haven't given up. Pistachios are not magic, they're not a cure-all, but they are a reminder that healing can be simple. That change can start with one small act, repeated, respected, and believed in. And more importantly, that you're not done yet. Not even close, so here's what I hope you remember. Your struggles are not your fault. Your results will come with patience. And your manhood is not measured by what you've lost, but by the choice to reclaim it one day at a time. If this message meant something to you, I want to ask for one small thing in return. Tap that like button, not because it helps us, though it does, but because it tells YouTube more of this, more truth, more hope for men like me. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. We're building a community of men who refuse to go quietly into old age, men who want to wake up stronger, think sharper, and love deeper. Leave a comment below, even just a 1 if you believe what we're doing matters, or a 0 if you're not sure yet. I read every single one because this isn't just a podcast, it's a conversation, and you, my friend, are part of it. I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott. Thank you for being here. And until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and never stop reclaiming what's yours.